An ABC News Live Prime special is taking a hard look at what is really in our food.
All right, so there are so many places to watch ABC News Live. Do not miss this. I know there's a lot of stories to think about, but don't miss out on this one. Gut Check, the food we eat, streams tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darien Sutton goes inside the lab to see what ultra-processed foods do to your body.
I love the name of it, Gut Check, because inflammation starts in the gut, right?
Yep.
He also compares American products to those sold overseas, and the differences may surprise you. So Dr. Sutton's back with this very important conversation. So you put your own body to the test in this special. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
This is must-see television, you guys. What did you discover?
You know, I discovered that it's not just the ingredients or what's on the back of the label, but it's also how the food is made and how it's processed. And we're learning now in the CDC report that more than half of the calories consumed by Americans on a daily basis are considered ultra-processed. And we're learning that it directly impacts our health. Take a look at this.
Americans love to eat. And how we get our fill has changed drastically over the last few decades. America feasts on processed foods with flavors forged in factories, trading substance for convenience. From frozen dinners, to fast food, to even a store-bought apple. Most food on American store shelves has been processed in some way, shape, or form. We break down the marketing and demand for these products, as well as the science.
Honestly, it's a lot more comfortable than you think. When you live in New York, this is actually a really nice little apartment.
Putting myself through a laboratory experiment.
What exactly are we looking at?
For years, there has been a growing online movement around so-called healthy and clean eating.
Nourishing my family is the most important thing to me. The kitchen is the heart of the home.
Health Secretary RFK Jr. embracing the trend as a part of his Make America Healthy Again movement. How these products have fed the world, but at what cost to our health? This is Gut Check, the foods we eat.
We'll be able to see those results soon? Or?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, amazing. All right, so this is exciting. I'm still hungry.
Still hungry.
Well, I am too, but it's 10:46. We all are. All right, so let's talk about this, because for anyone who travels, you always feel like the food's better in Europe, right?
Yes.
You don't gain so much weight, you don't get bloated, all of those things. You actually compared store products with those in Europe to the U.S. What did you find different about the ingredients?
Yeah, the additives is what's specific about this. You know, a lot of companies are buying to try to make sure that they keep their salt, their fat, and their sugar as low as possible. But with that being said, they're providing or adding in additives that we've not necessarily formally vetted. And comparing the United States to Europe, the rules are very different, and that changes what lands on our plates.
It was really hard to hear you just a moment ago talk about how pervasive ultra-processed and processed foods are in our diets.
Yeah.
So even if we are being conscientious parents and we want to feed our kids, you know, foods that don't have these additives, it's really difficult, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And there are some parents who I understand are working 10 to 12-hour shifts. You're coming home. Time is also expensive.
Yep.
And a lot of these foods are chosen because of convenience. So pro tip here, when you're at the grocery store, trying your best to stay on the perimeter. That's where you're going to find your most minimally processed and unprocessed foods.
Don't go down the middle aisles.
And don't go, or try to avoid it as much as possible.
Really
and if you do go in, just remembering we want to reduce our consumption of ultra-processed foods as much as possible.
We also have food deserts happen all around our country, and affordability,
absolutely,
a major key in this as well. With the new focus on this Trump administration and the MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again, do you think that we're actually going to see changes? And what steps do you think are going to be taken?
You know, when you look at the policies of the MAHA movement, or the ideals, you know, we can all agree on them. We want to make sure that we have stable food, that we have fresh sources of food, that we want to make sure we're getting physical activity. But when you look at the actual initiatives and concrete plans, very little has come out of it. And many actions by our current administration have went against the policies and goals of the MAHA movement. You know, putting leadership in place in terms of the FDA and the United States Department of Agriculture that rolled back our regulation policies, reducing restrictions on processed food manufacturing, and also providing less access to farm fresh food for underdeserved populations and those with low economic status. So all of that being said, it can sometimes make it more difficult for people to get the food and the healthy options that they want and desire.
So we take a few steps forward and a few steps back.
A few steps forward and a few steps back. But as you pointed out, what's worse than processed food is hunger. And so we have to make sure that we're providing as much as possible, especially since we live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
And both of those are on the table for us right now.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Don.